welcome to my page. I'm Tara Rohani, and today we have a lovely guest here with us. I would like to ask you to please type all your questions regarding, of course, regarding to the topic, and at the end of the interview, we'll be answering a few of those questions. So I would like to welcome our lovely guest. It's a great pleasure to have Vidya Venkat here with us from Slim and Smile with Vidya. Welcome, Vidya.
Thank you so much, Tara. It's a huge honor to be with you, the ever-charming Tara.
Thank you, my dear. It's lovely to have you here today. Vidya, share with us what you do. What is your, and we would love to gain some insight as to how you support your clients.
Sure, absolutely. Would love to. So from the name, you can see it's Slim and Smile with Vidya. So
Yes.
I help women professionals to reduce weight and have their dream body in just 3 months.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. And how do you do that? Because I can imagine it's not an easy job to reduce weight in 3 months. It needs a lot of commitment, a lot of perhaps dedication.
Yeah, absolutely. And the most important is keeping the weight forever, right? Being off that weight. So I'll just share. So I'll just share a bit of my story and why I'm doing this. And then I can explain how this really works because I'm my own client, right? So being in Dubai for the last 22 years and raising 2 sons alone and working in corporate, that was a perfect recipe for stress and weight gain and loss. So I always able to lose the weight, but I would put on more. So I would, since the age of, I think 15 years, since the age I was 15, I've been dieting and I've been doing all sorts of, and you name it, if anybody talks about weight loss, I would have tried that. Right. And then when I came across rapid transformational therapy, or otherwise known as RTT, I used that for myself. And then it took me 3 months to understand the root causes and the reasons why I'm holding on to this weight. So as I said, I was able to lose the weight. So I was always like going 10 kilos, I would lose. Then again, some external triggers would happen in my life, which obviously we don't have control. And then I would put back. And sometimes I would put more back. Right. So that's where RTT really helped me. And then I decided, let me train in that. Because I now understand the pain. I've been going through that for so many years of my life. So let me use that to help others.
Wonderful.
To explain more about RTT, I'm sure everybody wants to know what that is. So it means rapid transformational therapy. So I use RTT and coaching where I integrate principles of NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming. And then you've got CBT, which is cognitive behavior therapy, and neuroplasticity. I know all of this looks like a lot of scientific words, but what it simply means that our mind is like a computer. So what we do in my session is I go in, work with your mind, and identify the root causes why you're holding on to the excess weight. And then there are powerful techniques that I use to remove those beliefs and then install new programming to your mind.
Okay. That is fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's with the mind, and the reason why it is rapid and transformational is because it's quick and it's permanent, the results. And the reason of that is because we are working with the subconscious mind, right? So we all know go ahead.
I wanted to ask, so what is the significance or the difference between your program and all the other weight loss programs out there?
Yeah, that's what even I thought, why should I do RTT? Why should I invest in myself? Because I reached a point that I tried all the fad diets, exercise regimes, and I could never stick to anything. The difference is because we work at a subconscious level. So if you see all the diets, right, there are more and more diets out there. Every day you come up with some new diets. You Google, you find new diets. But if the diets had to work, then why do we have more and more diets? Why do we have more and more overweight people? Right? One of the most searched word is weight loss. Yeah.
True.
So that's because people are just trying new and new things, but all of them work at a conscious level. So to explain more, I like to explain that in the form of, a mountain, like iceberg, right?
Yes.
So whatever you see on top of the water is your conscious mind, which is very little, right? And we all know there's a huge mountain underneath, which is your subconscious mind. So because in RTT, we work at the subconscious mind, we are able to get permanent results because all the beliefs, all the reasons are lying underneath.
Okay. So is that true to say the subconscious mind has the most control over how we eat, how we behave, how we kind of live the life, or is it the the conscious mind?
You're right. You're absolutely right. The subconscious mind absolutely has more control because, as I explained, the whole mountain is underneath. So you can imagine all that is hidden underneath us. So I'll give this to my clients, like, every day people want to get up in the morning and exercise, right? It's one thing, people who want to lose weight would do that. But the morning at 6 o'clock, you keep snoozing the alarm, right? Right? Because your conscious mind has decided to exercise, so the mind puts the alarm. But your subconscious mind then rules over it and say, no, 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 let's not go.
Okay.
Because it has a hidden agenda. And that's what we cover, we remove in a session.
Okay, that's fascinating. Can you share with us the concept of virtual gastric band and what that is, and how you're able to support your clients through, applying this technique? What does it mean, and what does that do?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I've been doing a lot of research on that because around 5 years ago, because as I said, I've been trying all sorts of programs and I almost went under the knife to, cut part of my stomach.
Oh, wow.
Because I was so determined to have a flat stomach. Um, and then obviously it was expensive, first of all, that surgery. They call it as gastric bypass. So what they do in a medical perspective, they actually shrink your stomach. They make it into half by putting a band around it. And in some cases, some part of the stomach is scraped out. So there are different types of surgeries, which is called gastric band, which happens. And there are more such surgeries with related to stomach and weight loss. But I really love this virtual gastric band, which I came across after I graduated in RTT. So what we do, as I said, the mind is everything, right? The subconscious mind has all the beliefs and everything. It's a computer. It stores everything. So here we are cheating and lying to the mind in a good way. So what I do in a session, so when I take my clients to deep relaxation, I tell their mind that you're now in an operation theater. There's a surgeon there, you're getting an anesthetic, and then there's a band that's been tied around your stomach.
Okay.
So we're actually making the mind believe that the surgery really happened.
Yes. So are you using the power of imagination, basically?
Yes, because as I said, the subconscious mind has all the answers, and the subconscious mind is the king. Okay. So that's where we do it at the subconscious level, where we're telling the mind, okay, make the visualization is a technique where we make the mind believe that you have a gastric band there. And then there's a recording that goes with it, where they listen for 21 days, where I say that now you have a band, your stomach is restricted, it's only in the size of a fist of your hand, you eat less, your stomach needs only less, and those kind of powerful words.
Wow, interesting. And it works, yes?
Absolutely. This, if anybody can Google, even there are a lot of YouTube videos of successful stories of virtual gastric band, where people have undergone that and seen drastic results. And the best part of that, unlike the gastric band, there's no side effects.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yeah.
Right, right.
Are there any prerequisites for this, or anything that clients need to be prepared? Do they need to be committed? What is the level of commitment? So if you can just shed light on, these
Sure,
areas.
sure, sure, Tara, sure. So there are a couple of programs that I offer in the Slim and Smile with Vidya. The reason I call it that because we generally think of weight loss or weight reduction as a very painful process. So I say, so with my program, you do it smilingly and happily, right?
Awesome.
So a couple of programs. One is the virtual gastric band, which is generally for people who have cravings, who never feel full, no matter what they eat, right? And then who have stubborn fat around the stomach. So
Yeah.
virtual gastric band works well for them. So these are one set of eaters who are emotional eaters, who always constantly need food. Because what they do is they are stuffing food to not feel the emotions that's
Okay.
there inside. So just like other addictions, right? Some people use smoking and drinking, but food addiction is worse because you cannot be without keeping food in your house. Wherever
True.
you go, you're going to have food. So that's where it's quite challenging. So that's for virtual gastric band. Then I have other set of clients who are already eating healthy, right? They have a decent exercise routine, but still they are not able to lose that stubborn fat.
Yes.
And that directly goes to some kind of beliefs they have formed, in their childhood, or there's a lot of trauma. Unrecognized trauma is another aspect. So all this is stored in our body as excess weight.
Okay. Yes. Very fascinating. So you mentioned that there are a lot of people that have already used this technique. Can you share some names? Like, for example, are there celebrities out there that
Yeah.
have used this and successfully went through this technique and this, procedure?
Yeah. So with regard to hypnosis is a very common tool. All the celebrities use, not just for weight, but also for all other things like sports. Celebrities use it for better performance. So with specific to weight, Orlando Bloom, his mother had taken him when he was young to a psychologist, to a hypnotherapist to help him with his emotional eating. You have
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston, you have Sarah Ferguson, you have the Spice Girl, Jerry Halliwell. So you name it, even the Adele singer. So many of them have used that, and it's very effective because it's permanent, because you're looking at the root causes. So unlike diets and everything else, it's not short term and it's not temporary.
Yes, very good. So, yeah, plenty of a lot of celebrities have been using this, and I guess this by itself shows that it's an effective way of perhaps removing whatever issue one is experiencing. In this case, would be weight loss.
Yeah.
So can you share what are your top tips with you on losing weight or controlling weight? Are those two different or are they the same in regards to sharing tips and how people can maintain either losing weight or maintaining weight?
Yeah, I really like the way you separated that, and that's brilliant because actually it's two different things to the mind, right? Because when you talk about losing weight, I just want everybody to just, take a step back and reflect in your life. So, Tara, what does loss mean to you?
Well, means I'm facing trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always pain, grief, right? You lose somebody, you lose a job. So, to the mind, and that's the power of the words, right?
Okay.
This one rule of the mind I want everybody to walk away today from. The mind only understands the pictures you make and the words that you say, right? So when you say weight loss, the mind says, okay, loss means it's pain to you. So I will first of all not allow you to lose the weight, right? Or even if people with great willpower lose weight, I will ensure you get it back.
Okay.
Because the opposite of loss is gain, right?
True.
And
Yeah.
what does gain mean to you?
Well, would be comfort.
Absolutely, like money gain, wealth gain, relationships, job. So everything. So gain is a pleasurable word, and loss is a pain word. So our mind doesn't think, okay, everything else loss I get it, but for weight loss it's good. No, all loss is bad, right?
Okay.
That's the reason you would have noticed, you would have seen people, and all of the people who struggle with weight, they always say that, okay, I reduced the weight, I lost the weight, but I put back more, because
Okay.
mind does everything to put it back again.
So are you saying that the meaning we attach to the words are very crucial as to
Absolutely.
how the mind interprets them and
Yeah.
how then we react to that?
Yeah. I can just give you a quick example. Let's do a
Mm-hmm.
fun game, and let's see if all our viewers can also do it. So this is something with to do with the words, right? Power of words. So if,
Yeah,
I just want you to put out your right arm or left arm, if you're right or
sure.
left,
I'm
whichever.
gonna move this.
Yeah,
Okay,
like just one arm.
one arm.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just like this pointing. So I'm going to use the power of the words, yeah? So
Yes.
I want you to move your hand back as much as possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna hit the wall.
Sorry. So I can see my hand is gone till here, okay? So you
I
bring it
can
back.
move. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to instruct my arm. Hey, arm, I want you to go back at least further by 25%,
Okay.
right? And then when you take your hand back, see, it's gone back further.
It is going.
Yeah.
Yes,
Uh,
definitely.
So see, with simple, just in simple instruction, your body listen to your mind. Then see how
Mm-hmm.
powerful it is. For years, you're saying weight loss, you know, all these pain, loss, loss, loss. So the body thinks, oh my God, it's loss. I will not allow you to lose.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Thank you for doing this demonstration. Well, now I know how to practice my arm then. And I'm
Yes.
sure the audience probably they did it as well, the viewers. And if you didn't, definitely try it. It's working.
Yes, absolutely.
Wonderful. So, as you mentioned, it's important how we interpret the meaning and
Yes.
what meaning we attach to words. So, so instead of weight loss, what are we supposed to say then?
So you can use words like weight reduction or shedding weight, dropping weight, anything other than loss.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, that's the power of the words. And then you asked about tips, right? So yeah, I would say
Yes.
reduction, controlling. I would rather use the word maintaining weight,
Mm-hmm.
because again,
Yes.
controlling is something very, the mind doesn't take it very well, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times people can't control things inside, so they try to control by overeating. So that's again not a very good word. So
Yeah.
maintaining, so what they can, so people who want to reduce weight, start using the word that I'm dropping off 2 kilos, I'm reducing 2 kilos, I'm shedding 2 kilos. I love that word shedding, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then when you want to maintain it, you just say you're maintaining the weight. So you keep your weight, or you're keeping my weight.
Okay, so not using weight loss, but instead
Yes.
shedding, reducing,
Yes.
and if maintaining, you like to stay on the same weight, so you maintain your weight. That's
Yeah. But I'm
wonderful.
slim, I'm thin, whichever you like to be called. I'm healthy.
Okay, so one of our viewers, Shiva, she mentioned you can say you want to get healthy.
Yeah. So I have a. I'll just add to that, instead of saying you want to, because want, hope are such words which are just like future. So
Mm-hmm.
you're always in the want of something, right? So
Okay,
instead of that, use just present tense. So you can
okay,
say I am healthy. So it's like fake it till you make it. So you
okay.
to tell your mind a better lie. So as you say, lie to your mind, right? And say
Mm-hmm.
that I'm healthy now, because the mind doesn't understand future; it understands present.
True. So we need to use present tense.
Yeah.
And instead of saying I want to, you say I am healthy.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
I am shedding weight, or I am maintaining my weight, because then your body will do it instantly, or the
True.
mind will be programmed to do it instantly. Okay.
Yeah, because the mind then believes it's happening, so it will give you all the energy to make that happen.
What other tips? Are there any other tips you like to share?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I have like my top 4, which I really love, which is very interesting. I didn't know before. So one was breathing, because there are a couple of ways where actually we the body releases weight.
Okay.
Is which I learned, after I got into RTT, was through breathing and drinking water. Yeah. So how many of us are actually, weight consciously breathing, right? We just take that for granted. We just know that we're breathing in and out.
Yeah.
But when you start doing just simple breathing exercises, like you can do this like for 5 counts, 5 times. It just takes 2 minutes. So I advise my clients in the morning to start off with the breathing, which is like when you breathe in through your nose and your belly actually expands. And when you breathe out through your mouth and your belly goes in. And you do this for a count of 5 in and 5 out. And you can do it 4 times or 5 times in the morning. It does 2 things to your body and mind. To the body, it's a exercise. So it is releasing weight. And to the mind, it's instantly telling the mind, calm down.
Okay.
Because our mind is very wired for negativity. Because right from the time we are young, we're told that don't do this, don't do that, that's danger. So the mind is always looking for negativity to keep us safe. So when you do this breathing in the morning, the mind understands, oh, I'm safe, I'm calm. And then you can see the whole day really go well.
So it can also play as a relaxation technique.
Yes, very much. And also when the mind feels it's safe, the body feels safe, because the mind controls the body. Right? And the body feels safe, then it will also release the weight, because a lot of times the body is putting on weight to protect us from perceived danger.
Would you say sleep is also a big factor in shedding weight?
Yeah, yes.
See,
You got
now
it
I
right.
remember.
Absolutely. Yes, as I said, it's like first the breathing, then you're drinking a lot of water, because the water helps you to release all the toxins and what you keep, getting inside the body. And the third is definitely sleep, because when we sleep, the body needs rest. So when we sleep, the body is doing, that's why, you would hear a lot of programs talk about eat early, like eat by 6 o'clock or 5:30, because then give the body enough time to do its part,
Yes.
to metabolize and mobilize the fat and process the food properly. So if you eat late, that's why a lot of people, when they eat late, they feel so lethargic in the morning. They don't feel very active, because the body takes more time to process the food then.
I agree. I was reading the other day, I can't remember the source, sorry about that, but it was saying that how important and essential it is for us to go to bed between 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. It's very essential, because the
Yeah.
body will release the toxic from the
Yeah.
heart, brain, and the digestive system. But then if we pass that period, from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m., then the body never gets to release those toxins from
True.
those areas, and we will carry those with us. So I guess, as you mentioned, it's essential to be able to have good sleep, drink plenty of water, and have a good solid deep breathing
Yes.
adopted into our daily
Yeah.
life.
Yeah. And I would also like to add a couple of things to that. Again, coming back to the power of the words. So when you go out or when you eat or even when you're cooking or whatever, what we usually do is when we want to reduce weight, we would say, oh, I have to eat a salad, or I have to drink this, So instead of that, say, I choose to. Choose is a very powerful word, because then the mind thinks, okay, I have a choice. So there's abundance, right? I
Wonderful.
have pizza, I have a salad, but I choose to eat the salad, right? Because I want to look good now, not when
Yeah,
I'm 90.
I like that.
Right?
I really like that. And you know how even a child, when we're talking to a child, we need to give them choice. Otherwise, if we ask them to do something, they're not going to do that. They will
Yeah,
rebel.
they'll already, but they learn from us, right? The first word that they learn is no, because that's what we usually tell them. Don't do that. No, 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 right? And the
Yes.
other thing I really practice, which I can tell my clients, is like, this is very good for people having sugar addiction. But even like, I used to binge on chips. I never had a sweet tooth, but if I open
Okay.
a pack of crisp, I can't finish till. And that's what these Lays and all of them have the tagline, right? You can't stop with one, right? So
Yes.
they do make it addictive. So if you have food in front of you, then your mind gets you to eat that more.
Mm-hmm.
So the best is to keep the right food at home,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even if you have to keep certain foods, hide it and keep it, not in your, in your straight line of vision. Because it's very simple, right? If you think of an alcoholic who's come off alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
he or she is not going to keep it at home, right? But
True.
when it comes to food, we especially with sweets or candies, people do keep it at home because, oh, a guest has to come or somebody has to come.
Yeah.
So if you have to keep it at home, keep something which is your least favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then
I
you don't
agree.
you don't want to eat it. And as far as possible, like stay away. Don't keep it in your line of vision. That
Mm-hmm.
really works.
I totally agree. I had to overcome the same cravings because I love sweets, and first of all, I don't buy anything that, I may have the triggers coming up and or cravings. Second, if I do, crave, I'll try to think of a healthy substitute, if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can.
yeah.
And I also try to I please tell me if you think this is a good way of kind of foreseeing the cravings. I try not to allow my body to get to that last minute that the craving comes and I have no plan, and
Yeah,
then of course I reach out for whatever is closest to me.
true, true.
Even some people, they may have a grocery store right by their home, so they jump into the car or they walk and buy whatever they need. So I
Oh, yeah,
guess having a plan in mind, it's also essential, don't you think?
absolutely. Like, especially in Dubai, here we are so spoiled for choice. So I have two supermarkets down my building. So imagine
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
Temptation, right? And then I think with this COVID thing, we're all into, click of a button. You
Yes.
click tomato, whatever food you want gets delivered to you in just few minutes or a few hours. So I think the access to food is very easy now compared to those olden times. And there's a very interesting story I would like to share here.
Yeah.
Why we cannot resist when food is around, or why, like why we can't stop with one food. So our mind is still in the tribal mindset, like how it's there. Though we are in a civilized society, but the mind still thinks we are in the tribe. So in the tribe, those days, you didn't have the choice of food that you have now. So
Mm-hmm.
what would happen is, like, today, if they hunt a deer or something and there's food in front of you, so you don't have a choice. You can say, oh, I don't want to eat the deer today. I will keep it in the fridge and eat it tomorrow. You eat what is in front of you. So that's the reason the mind is still wired. So if you have food in front of you, the mind thinks, I have to eat this because tomorrow I may not get this food.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know that's not true, because food is always available for us all the time.
Absolutely. That's a very good reminder, Vidya. Thank you for sharing that. So I understand you have a TV show and a radio show, isn't it? That's
Yes, yes,
amazing.
yes.
So tell us a little bit about that and how is it going?
Oh, that's
Is it
amazing.
regarding the same service you provide?
Yeah, so I started off. So the TV show is on B4U Plus, which is one of the top TV channels for Middle East. So
Yeah.
there is, so actually it's it's the same show, but it comes in English and then it comes in Arabic in the Arabic channel of B4U. So,
Okay.
so that started in November. So in that I started off with, first I wanted to like, give awareness about the mind and body connection, because if I straight away talk to you about, like, don't eat this food or something like that, people are just going to reject it, because that's what people are used to, right? Everybody telling them drink this smoothie. If you go this online, so much of advice, like, for weight. So
Yeah.
first I started off so it's an every week show. So I started off as educating them about the mind and body connection. Like one of the examples that I showed you, there are different more techniques. I can share the link to my video so people go and watch it later.
Of
Then
course.
I talk to them about another cause of weight cravings is because we don't feel good enough inside. And that's a belief that we've formed, maybe even in the mother's womb. So when you come into this world and you don't feel enough, you want food. So some people use food to fill that not feeling good enough. Yeah, yeah. To feel complete. They think that momentary you feel whole when you eat. So that's the pleasure. That's why people overeat and binge eat. So then I made them understand. Then I had a series on children, and now I'm focusing specifically on the weight part, because now their mind, now they understand. Okay, I can change my mind and body anytime. I'm in control.
Wonderful. So you did a preparation and now you're on the action
Yes,
steps.
yes. Now it's easy because they are very receptive, because they know it's not
Yes.
somebody giving them advice. They know that this is actually true because they
Wonderful.
experience.
That's amazing. So yes, definitely share those links and I can add them to, well, I'm not sure if I can add to the Instagram because they're usually don't allow us to add links, but
Okay.
perhaps I can add those to my Facebook page under
Sure,
the
sure. I can
video.
just share here. The YouTube channel is Just Be You.
Okay, yeah, please share those
That's my
here.
tagline. So just JUSTBEYOU. So that's what I want to tell people. Just be you. And
That's
my
lovely.
website is justbeyoualways.com.
Oh, lovely. Wonderful. So, Vidya, I understand you're based in Dubai, but how can people find you if beside your website or YouTube channel, share your website with us here as well. How can they find you, reach out to you if they need support? And what would be the first step for them in order to, receive services?
Sure, sure. So you can reach out me again, easy, Vidya at justbeyoualways.com. Okay, and I'm on Instagram at Slim and Smile with Vidya.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay. So the first step, as you said, is you reach out and we set up a discovery call where I understand the fit, like what the requirement is. It's more like a consultation to understand, because so I always say that weight loss or weight issue is a symptom, like a fever,
Yeah.
right? But the infect, so five people can come have the same fever, but the infection in each one of them is different. So it's the same way. So people have, all my clients who come for weight, the symptom is weight, but the actual root cause is different. So that's where the consultation call gives the clarity on what the pattern is. That's the first step. And then when they decide to work with me, we work together. Then I set up the coaching call, come the RTT sessions. And it's over a
Wonderful.
3-month package. Yeah.
Okay. I can't recall if we discussed the commitment part. I asked, but we went into other
Oh yeah, I know.
yes, other topics.
Yeah, yeah.
So share with us, are there any prerequisites or what should be the level of commitment for someone to see results, you know, successfully complete the session or the program?
Yeah, I really like the way you brought that up. Yeah, commitment, I think, is the key, because I always say you can go to the best doctor in the world, but if you don't have the medicine, you're not going to get well, right? So you can,
Sure.
I can do everything the best, but two things is required from the client. One, they completely believe and they are super receptive. That I always say, if they believe this works, it works. If you believe it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? So come with that commitment that yes, this works. And the second is there is some kind of assignments that they have to do between the sessions. So once the session happens, RTT, they have to listen to the audio recording, which is made only for them for 1 month. So in the session, I always tell people the subconscious mind comes from here to here, right? But your conscious mind is still here.
Okay.
And most of the day we spend on a conscious mind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to work, we have to go out, there are external triggers. So when they are listening to the recording for a month, I do 3 weekly coaching calls where we bring the conscious mind to the subconscious level.
And what is the benefit of conscious mind and the subconscious mind working on the same level or being
Absolutely.
on the same page?
So before a session, typically what happens, as I told you, the conscious mind wants to exercise, but the subconscious mind doesn't, right? But then in the session, the subconscious mind is like, wow, okay, I get this. Why I'm holding on to this, I will release it. Now the subconscious mind is good, but again, bear in mind, the subconscious mind for years thought differently. So it's not very familiar to both the conscious and the subconscious mind that it's safe for me to reduce weight. It's okay for me to reduce weight. So that's where after the sessions, the coaching calls give them coping strategies
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis, because they listen to the recording. That's one thing. But second, when there is when chips is in front of them or sugar in front of them, they have to take that conscious choice. I choose to eat healthy. I choose to exercise, whatever is their lifestyle, because it's not one size fits all. This commitment comes for each one of them, it's different.
Yes. Wonderful. So I just want to remind our lovely viewers, welcome everybody. If you have any questions for Vidya regarding reducing weight or maintaining weight, please write it down. Now it's the time. So Vidya, to wrap up, what would you like to add and share with us here?
Um, I would just say that reducing weight and being your ideal weight and dress size or dream body is completely available to you, right? It's all in our mind. Yes, you may have tried different ways, but bear in mind, whatever you've tried so far was from a conscious level. And the reason, first of all, why you're overweight is not your fault. So a lot of people carry that guilt. That's also reason for the excess weight. Yeah. So first acknowledge there's a reason, root cause why you're holding on to the weight. And it's got nothing to do with you as a person. It's some beliefs that something has happened when you were younger. And then once you remove that, then you have a free life to choose and eat the way you want, and still be, slim and have your right body.
Would you also say perhaps having a maintained weight or a weight that it's ideal, it's a byproduct of having a healthy body,
Yep.
healthy system, healthy, mind and spirit?
Absolutely. I think one of the questions is also that how can weight loss affect other areas? So, yeah, what you said was true, because for me, though weight was an issue, I also had physical issues, like I was pre diabetic. I had irritable bowel syndrome. I was even having depression, diagnosed long time back. So I had physical pain, physical diseases, and mental issues. But now after this session and maintaining this weight, so I know what I put in. So I'm putting the right food in, and that so much helps with your physical issues. So I've completely come out of my IBS. I'm so much healthier. I have so much energy. So it's a huge, huge part, because people who have excess weight, you've been carrying it for years. You're so high risk for heart attacks, for even cancer, because all this is affected. It's very important. Our body is a car, right? You have to put the right fuel inside, and food is only a fuel, nothing more, nothing less.
Well said. So there is a question, Vidya. One of our viewers says, how can weight loss affect other areas? So how can, I would say, here we don't want to use weight loss.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
How do you revise this question, Vidya? And what's the answer to it?
So I would say how dropping off weight or shedding of weight affects other areas. I think the first thing I have seen, and I've seen in myself and my clients, is your high self-confidence. Because now, when you look at yourself, you're so confident about yourself. It says a lot. So outside, when you're confident, your inside also you get better confidence. Your self-esteem increases.
Definitely.
So these two are like the huge, huge byproducts.
Wonderful. I also wanted to mention, you touch base on how people can shed weight and they maintain it.
Yeah.
So can you give us some tips on the maintaining part? Because of course, when people go on diet, they shed weight, but then it'll come back, So with your program, you mentioned that you help rewiring the brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
But can you explain a little bit more as to how they'll be effectively maintaining, that weight after they shed the weight? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. So like you said, in my program, you're not on a diet, right? So that's the first thing. So because as I said, diets are all short-term quick fixes.
Okay.
So I tell my clients, this is not a quick fix, right? This is a committed program.
Yes.
So what happens in the program? Two things, right? Because you remove the root causes, there is no reason for you to hold on to the excess weight.
Okay.
So you're automatically maintaining that weight, right? There is no need for you to go back to get back that weight. So that's the reason you keep that weight. And the second thing is the healthier choices that you have. So now I'm 9 months into, after I completed the program. So even now I love eating salad. So it's become a way of lifestyle. I'm not saying that's what everybody does, but for me, it's good for my IBS and other immune system.
Yes.
Like, with COVID and everything, my immunity has been mine and my kids' immunity has been great. Thank God, because of, eating right amount food, the right food. So there's a lot of lifestyle changes that happen in a good way. And you do it easily, smilingly, not because I'm forced to do this.
Yeah, that is really important, because when we feel, oh God, I have to kind of stop myself from enjoying anything that I love, then by itself is depressing.
Absolutely. And your mind will not give you that energy, right? By willpower, you've seen people. That's why diets are very short term, because people can do it for a month, but you can't lifelong do that.
No.
Because you're telling, every time you're on a diet, you're telling my mind, I hate this, right? But in this program, in my program, when you do it, you're saying, I'm loving it.
Yeah, lovely. Actually, one of our viewers, he or she says, so do you recommend diet or healthy eating? And I think that's very much linked to what you were just saying. So
yeah. And the best part is, like, I had a client yesterday who wanted to sign up, and she was very specific. She's an Indian living in US, so she was very specific. I don't want to let go of my Indian food, right? So and that's what a lot of diets tell you, not to eat what you're used to.
Yes.
So what I even suggest to my clients, I said, Yes, there are some recommendation I would do. You would probably do it for a month, but that's it. You're not going to be doing it for the rest of your life. And you try new food here. So healthy eating, you actually, I realize there's so much to food than what I was used to before, because when you know there are different ways of eating, you go and explore that. So you're not stuck to something.
True. Wonderful. Excellent. So let me see if there is any other question here for us and for dear Vidya. Okay, so no, I don't see any other questions. However, is there anything else you'd like to share, Vidya? If not, we can say goodbye.
I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, Tara. That's amazing the way you've arranged this. I
Thank
love your
you.
shows, love your events, and I'm so honored to be here and just share my knowledge with everyone. And just want to tell everybody that you can really be slim in a happier way.
Absolutely. Thank you, dear Vidya. It was a pleasure to have you, definitely. And I see there is one more question coming up. It says, last but not the least, apart from diet, healthy eating, how about workouts? That's a great question.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't touch that. Yes. So the way I look at workouts, and even if anybody who's gone through a proper weight program, they would tell you that 80% is food and 20% is actually exercise. You know, there's a myth that if you work out more, you need to eat more. That's actually a myth. That's not true. So exercising is actually for the mind, not for the body. We are
Agree.
conditioned that way. So work on your healthy eating. And I love my exercise now. I go to the gym for the first time, and I keep telling, I use my mind. Before I used to hate it, I said I love it, I love it. So do it, but not use it as an excuse to eat more, because it doesn't work then.
I agree, definitely. Very good. It was a pleasure to have you here, my dear. Thank you, all the lovely viewers, for sticking with us here. And I'm sure you gained so much knowledge from what dear Vidya shared. She has such a successful rate of clients that they see her and they successfully go through her program. And if you need any support with shedding weight or maintaining weight, please reach out to her, and she'll be able to support you. So the last question says, can you share one of the results you work out on or you worked on someone? Well, I believe you can definitely reach out to her, and once you book a discovery call, she can definitely share those with you. And are there any places on your page, Vidya, that you have any data or any stories of people, you know, that have gone through your program?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can go to my website, and there's definitely a lot of testimonials, video and other testimonials, which shows how powerful what I do.
Yes, wonderful. So go to Vidya's website. She has video testimonials, many different types of testimonials, and you can read more, reach out to her. As I said, it's important, if you need support from Vidya, to book a discovery call, and you'll be able to ask any questions you have, and she'll be able to support you with answering your questions and assessing whether one is a good fit for the program or not.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
It was lovely to have you. Thank you, everybody. So we'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.